Welcome back to the park. It's a beautiful day and all the rides are functioning. Probably safe. It's fine. Probably. Anyways, so good news. Figured out why my microphone wasn't recording. And it was a weird setting, so hopefully I can fix things now and you can actually hear me without me having to adjust the volume, like the audio, to make it super grainy but audible. So I'm very happy about that, and I'm also very excited because I got a replacement battery for my camera, so now I have 2 batteries and a charger for the battery, so I can record more than an hour, 15 minutes before I have to plug my camera in for like 2 hours. So I'm quite happy with that. Today I'm making like a weird little pillow thing, basically. I was ordering some fat quarters to make some more the little stuffed monsters that I have off of Spoonflowers. They had a sale, like, I don't know, like, I think it was like early April, but I'm not sure because everything is, you know, I have no reference for time anymore. Anyways, I wanted to throw in a little bit more fun things. One of them is basically a sample for another project, but that's going to probably be a series of videos, honestly. Then, you know, it's just basically related to my betas and how much I love them. I love my dumb fish. Anyways, future video. It'll be fun. But today's video, I basically threw a bunch of comic pages from my various projects onto a fat quarter, whatever, one of the two, and put them size so that they'd be like a little bit, so it's like a stuffy but it's like a comic page. Honestly, it's kind of weird. And then I went through my scripts and decided that I was going to start with this page from chapter 0 of Left to the Elements, which is what I was working on something for the week before last, chapter 3 header marker drawing. And so what I'm doing now is I'm cutting like almost like a frame to go around the edge in between the top and the bottom layer, because if I just did a bottom, it would be a lot rounder and it would distort the image, which I didn't want. So this way it's a little bit more 3D, but also it's more like it's a rectangle, like I would like it to be. So that's what this part is, and I decided the easiest way to do that would be to sew the frame first, and then sew it to the front to make sure it was nice and even, and then onto the back, leaving a gap to turn it around. So that's what I did. I also didn't feel like measuring, so you kind of saw me eyeballing. See me eyeballing a little bit more too. What I'm doing now while sewing is basically just chain stitching. Found it while doing quilting. It's normally used to like chain piece quilt blocks together, so that way you don't have to waste all the time and thread that, you know, sewing like 2 3-inch squares together and, you know, like pulling it out and cutting it, which gets real tiresome if you have like 20 of those. So it's pretty much just sewing, back stitching around the edges, and then going through. Well, actually, I probably didn't need to backstitch, but I wanted to be secure. The first time I made the seam too narrow, so I just doubled it, and then I went over to iron it. What I did was I ironed it flat, and then I basically closed it and ironed it closed from the front so that it had nice crisp corners. And then made sure it actually fit and sewed it to the front, because that was the pretty part. It had to be extra nice. And the way that I did that was I sewed the top and the bottom and then the sides separately, as opposed to trying to do like one because it'll be more secure, and 2, that way I could fold it a little bit easier. And then I went and I ironed it in the opposite direction, so sides and then top and bottom. And then I put it onto the giant black rectangle that is the back of the fabric. Back of fabric pillow. Okay, it's been a while. Okay, I've so many takes. I give up. This is it. And then once I finished it, I turned it right side out. Didn't actually bother ironing the back just because I didn't want to put like a crease in the middle, which turned out okay. Then I stuffed it, did a whip stitch closed very, very awkwardly because of trying to get it on camera. Normally I'd have it like situated in my lap, so it was very odd trying to get it at an angle it was like visible. But yeah, that's basically what that was. When we get to it, there'll be a video of the finished product. It's lagging more than I would like, so at this point I'm just gonna ramble for the next 3 minutes or so about somewhat related things. Like my intro, which will do something. Basically, it's going to be very, very cheesy and very dumb because no secret to most people who've talked to me about it or mentioned anything related to them, but I love theme parks. And like, yeah, technically I do know there's a difference between an amusement park and a theme park. Theme parks are probably my favorite. Amusement parks bemuse me, I suppose. Like, once you get to the big ones, they're basically all theme parks. Unless it's just like, yeah, we have all the roller coasters. But most of the time there's some theming to it. Anyways, but yeah, I love theme parks. And I also love, basically, just anything related to them or similar things. So, like, I love theme parks. I love like set design, costuming, basically everything related, like even tangentially to them, like, haunted houses, that sort of thing. Just in part why I have my weird branding. I may have mentioned it before, and it'll definitely come up soon because I want to do some more stuff related to it. But my branding is from basically a plan I had to do a large format art book, and I actually did a fair amount of world building for this dumb theme park. Which again, it's gonna be a different video, but truncated version. I love theme parks. I have a fascination for things that are abandoned because it's just looking at them are interesting. And just all these things that I love just come together very well. So I've given up. Initially I just needed a title for some of my stuff, and I went with what was the easiest thing I could think of that would be recognizable. Originally it was Roller Coaster of Death, and then I moved to Haunted Amusement Park because it sounds better. But yeah, I figured I would lean in my table display. I'm gonna have to do like a tour or something because it's getting completely revamped. But also, always felt weird about not having a video intro, so like I'm gonna have something similar, and we'll probably redo that too. But yeah, that's that. Here is the finished one, and thank you for visiting today. I hope you have a wonderful time.